Let's do it from Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs. Front Range League Collegiate Baseball action. Fort Collins Foxes at El Paso County Baseball Miracles on a sun-soaked Friday, June 27, 4:07 p.m. Mountain Time. Thad Anderson with you on the Front Range Baseball Network. Pitch one of today's doubleheader. Nori Todd fouls it away. He deploys the hunt first pitch approach. We've seen Nori use a variety of leadoff styles. The patient see a bunch of pitches. The big daddy hack first swing. The other way shot like that goes foul. 0-1 count. Second pitch is through the left side. Two pitches, one fouled off, one base knock. For the leadoff man for the Foxes, Nori Todd. He's on with a single, and Cade Gavina comes to the plate. Starting pitcher for El Paso County Baseball Miracles is Zachary Sanders, the righty. Sanders on the bump for EPCB Miracles. Game one of two queued up from Blocktickets Park, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Second batter, Cade Gavina, stands in front of catcher Louis De La Cueva. Picked the first is got Todd. Nori leaning just a little, but then he kind of stuck on the dive back. I think he might have known he was out, and he tried to shorten up just to see if he could dodge a tag. But the pickoff from Zachary Sanders on the bump. Tag slapped down by first baseman Ben Clayton, and the runner aboard is erased for the Foxes. Gavina now charged with resetting the table. Takes an outer edge strike for an 0-1 count. Pitch is up, and Zachary Sanders is underway in his start. 2 7-inning games slated for today. We've got a good batch of action already underway on a busy Friday night in the Front Range League. Alex Becker, play-by-play on the Front Range Baseball Network in Greeley right now. Single game in Greeley. And Sam Eliason gearing up for a game in Fort Collins on the network also. And more action coming along as the night plays along. I'll give you an update on all games on the network. 3-1 count here to Cade Gavina. Left fielder defensively, batting number 2 for the Foxes. He squibs one in front of the plate. Gavina busts it down the line, and pitcher Zachary Sanders bounces off, makes the play. Sanders has 2 assists. The pitcher, 2 defensive assists with 2 batters faced. He's got a pick off over to first, and he's got a ground ball. Scoops up and makes the throw on. Number 3 batter in the order is Hank Smith. Strike 1 to Smith. Hank playing first base on defense. First non-outfielder for the Foxes to bat here in the first inning. Nori Todd, the center fielder in the starting lineup. Defensive alignment, and Cade Gavina is in left field. Now the first baseman, Hank Smith, on deck. Right fielder, Nick Bertucci. So the first 3 of the first 4 batters in the order represent the entire outfield for the Foxes today. Zachary Sanders pitch with a 2-1 count. Smith fires that foul to the left side. My third consecutive day here in the Springs. Wednesday night was Diamond Club, with the Miracles winning in extra innings, 10 innings, a walk-off grand slam from current third baseman on defense, fouled off by Smith again. Jansen Roberts went walk-off granny on Wednesday night, and a no-doubt bomb about 400 feet just to the center field side of the 385 sign in right center to end it and win it for the Miracles. Then they got thumped yesterday by Western Nebraska. Hank Smith is fouling balls away, sends one off the back screen. Still on a 2-2 count, but seeing a healthy dose of pitches, Hank. 24-2 yesterday, Western Nebraska Pioneers, a great road swing for them. 3 wins on the road, 2 over Boulder 64s, and a pounding of the Miracles yesterday. That breaking ball effort from Sanders, he I left the arm short on that and sailed it way out of the zone. New round of baseballs being delivered to the plate already. Sean Eierman, one of the pitchers for the Miracles, pops out of the first base dugout to deliver a new assortment of baseballs to our plate umpire, Steve Naftanel, who indicates a 3-2 count here with 2 outs, nobody aboard. And now 1 aboard on a ball 4. Hank Smith earned his way on there. Multiple foul swings. Force more pitches out of the starter, Zachary Sanders, and let the third of all 3 of the outfielders get to the plate in the first inning. Number 4 batter, Nick Bertucci, bats with Hank Smith aboard. Elijah Einen is on deck for the Foxes. 2 away. Bertucci takes strike 1. Elijah Einen next, and then new guy in the mix, wearing 37. Ronan Hella will play shortstop. Ronan Hella, welcome to the Foxes. Owen May, second baseman, bats 7. Drew Oreskes is 8 at DH, and Vinny Engel, the catcher, will bat 9th for the Foxes. Ball up above the zone. I'm going to go with, gosh, is that turquoise? Nick Bertucci's bat. It's kind of an aqua. We'll go with kind of an aquamarine, aqua color with a little brown handle. It's a pretty sweet-looking weapon Bertucci's got at the plate. 2-1 count. Hank Smith steps off a lead and does not take off Bertucci. Big swing and a miss. I was talking with Miracles assistant coach Marcus Gilmore pregame during Fox's pregame BP. Bertucci just about hit the scoreboard out in left center. You see there with the mountains topping it. Coach Gilmore said, did he just hit that out over there? And he hit it way out. That's a strike 3. Good work by Zachary Sanders, who goes backward K. Got Bertucci looking, and that'll strand Hank Smith after his walk over at first base, and the El Paso County Baseball Miracles get through the top of the first with nothing yielded to the Foxes. Now the Miracles with their first shot. First 3 in the order for El Paso County Baseball. Hunter Morgan, Jackson Schlepper, and Austin Reese coming to the plate, bottom of 1. Hey, it's Max Alpha, head coach, manager, governor, executive, chief of Elite Prospects Gold Platinum Elite in my 5-ton pickup truck that I bought at Cartropolis. One of my 4 vehicles, one of only 6 total vehicles in the village of Sugar Lake. Elite Prospects Gold Platinum Elite tryouts are coming up. Be there if you want to be elite. We only take people who are better than everybody else. If you want to be the best, be at tryouts. Elite Prospects Gold Platinum Elite. Do not look at our record on Game Changer. We're the elitist. We will cover airfare for anybody across the globe who believes they're better than anybody else. We'll pay for you to be at our tryout. Don't miss it. Elite Prospects Gold Platinum Elite. We're just better than you. All yard baseball. First batter to the plate for the Miracles is Hunter Morgan, center fielder on defense. Miracles in the all whites today. Clean look on a 3rd consecutive day of baseball for the Miracles here on a nice little homestand. Dominic Selfo is the starting pitcher for the Fort Collins Foxes. Selfo on the bump. Lefty working from the stretch from pitch 1 here with nobody aboard. This whole running the bug by myself thing, man, I'm not legit. I wish I had a better bug solution. But I'll get you the best I can on the updates on what's going on the score. Bases on, runners on, outs count, and we'll put one on right now. Base hit. So each team gets a leadoff single from the top of the order. Hunter Morgan, just like Nori Todd, who went the other way. Todd, a lefty, shot it to left for a hit to open it last half inning for the Foxes, was picked off at first. Now Hunter Morgan, the righty, he goes the other way to right field between first and second, and Hunter Morgan has a base hit. Jackson Schlepper takes a ball down. Vinny Engel, the catcher for the Foxes, buried that in the dirt right behind the plate. Dom Selfo, lefty Dominic, has today's Game 1 start with Vinny Engel behind the plate. Here's a 1-0 pitch from Selfo. Down again, 2-0 count. Jackson Schlepper, second batter. He's the shortstop. Leadoff guy was the center fielder, Hunter Morgan. On deck is Austin Reese, the right fielder. Then Jansen Roberts, third baseman, bats fourth. Selfo's pitch, and he's been down on all three. There's a back pick to one. Hunter Morgan dances back. So the four batter is Roberts. He hit the walk-off grand slam on Wednesday night. Playing a good third base defensively. Number 4 spot in the order. Pitch is a strike. Jackson Schlepper thought he was heading to first base, but he holds up with a 3-1 count. David Ada bats fifth. The DH today, Ada. Louis De La Cueva catching. He's sixth. Ben Clayton is seventh at first base. Second baseman Jeremiah Lucero, eighth, and Bryson Martinez in left field is the ninth batter. Popped up on a 3-1 count. That's going to carry to the grandstands and bounce on the concrete between two rows of green chairbacks. You can see on the right side of your screen behind the first base dugout with the big old Toyota banner on the top of it. Bounced about 6 rows. Now that ball is trickling its way back down, and that pitch just missed, 3-2. Not a bad pitch from Dominic Selfo, but he didn't get what he hoped for out of that. Narrow miss, and Jackson Schlepper takes a walk. Miracles number 34, Mason Aaron, is looking for that baseball. I just saw it trickling. It was slithering down like a snake, rolling back down. He's a little too high right now. I might yell in a minute here, so watch your ears. Help Mason with that. Warmer, he's close. Ball hit to the gap toward center field. That ball bangs off the wall. Austin Reese hammers it to the wall. Reese is going to try for 3, and everybody's going to make it where they're going. Stand-up triple for Austin Reese, scores 2 runs while I'm trying to help Mason Aaron find a baseball. And it's a 2-run triple for Austin Reese. I'm trying to help Mason, but I'm way up here right behind home plate. He's out there mid-depth of the dugout. Meanwhile, Austin Reese is tripling in 2 runs, and off and running go the Miracles with the first 2 tallies. Literally trying to help Mason Aaron shag a baseball. That was kind of ridiculous, but, you know, every ball counts, man. It's like $6 a pop. He's still on the search. How about Austin Reese launching that triple? It clanged. See the scoreboard out there. It hit the Outlaw Beverages sign on the wall on the fly. It's 410 to center, 385 to the left center gap. And he hit it just to the right side. If you look at the scoreboard that has the 2 team logos on it with the mountains on top of it, he hit it just to the right of that on that blue, light blue advertising there. Chopper from Jansen Roberts will be a ribby. Shortstop makes the play. That is the new guy, Ronan Hella at short for the Foxes. Austin Reese, his triple, followed by an RBI ground out from Jansen Roberts. And the Miracles have the first 3 tallies of this 7-inning ball game. I looked away to update my scorecard, and I didn't see the exciting conclusion of the ball search. Mason Aaron is now gone. I saw a guy coaching first base is Maverick Alcaria. He was heading that way to maybe help out, but he's back at first base, so I'm not sure what came of the ball search. I might go look for it between innings myself. Because those balls, seriously, not kidding, every ball counts, like for half a dozen dollars. Oh, fan just, wait, I think a little fan might have just scooped that thing up, handed it to Louis De La Cueva on deck. Big swing, and nothing there for David Ada. 1 away, and the base is empty with 3 runs home. El Paso County Baseball Miracles. Colorado Springs is the location today. Colorado Springs sits in El Paso County. And a large baseball organization here called El Paso County Baseball with this collegiate team as kind of their capstone. They have teams all the way down through the youth ranks. EPCB, or El Paso County Baseball. 3-2 count goes on the board against David Ada. See what Dominic Selfo has on a 3-2 with 1 away. Selfo's pitch is hit to left. That one is getting deeper and deeper, but it's gloved out there in left field. Out. Cade Gavina makes the catch. Pretty well hit. That ball just kind of kept going. Gavina was on it and then had to go into a side, kind of open the hips up, little side step, giddy up to close the last few steps of that. Running with his hips pointed toward the left field foul line. Karaoke steps back, and he got there. 2 out. Louis De La Cueva, catcher for El Paso County Baseball, has the bat in the number 6 spot. Takes a strike for a 1-1 count. Dominic Selfo down in the bullpen before the game today. Was talking to Dominic a little bit. He said he's got 5 pitches. He's been featuring 3 of those so far in Colorado in his first. We're at about a month right now of the season in the Front Range League. 2-1 count after that ball delivered. Selfo out of Gilbert, Arizona. Phoenix Community College, the lefty, heading to the plate on a 2-1. Jammed in on De La Cueva. He fouls that back right next to me up here in the booth. As I've said, and will say again, beautiful park here. One of the finest in the mix in the Front Range League in this inaugural season of Front Range League collegiate baseball. Selfo's pitch is a strikeout pitch of Louis De La Cueva. Swinging and out is De La Cueva. Productive first frame for the Miracles of El Paso County. Their first 3 batters all reach, all score. Hunter Morgan a single, walk to Jackson Schlepper, 2 RBI triple from Austin Reese, and a productive ground out from Jansen Roberts to shortstop, scored Reese, and then a fly-out strikeout. 3 runs to the board for the Miracles. Top of 2 of a 7-inning ball game. Batting for the Foxes, Elijah Einen, Ronan Hella, and Owen May. Elijah Einen now to the plate for the Fort Collins Foxes. Front runners in the Front Range League to this point. Give you some stats info here shortly, but after a massive win last night over the NOCO Prospectors, both teams hubbed out of the Fort Collins area. It was a pounding applied by the Foxes last night, keeping their lead in the Front Range League. Foxes won 24-2 yesterday. Yow. Holy yow. Holy that hurts. And that's the same score that we had here yesterday with Western Nebraska Pioneers. The Pios, there's a 3-0 count now on Elijah Einen, taking 3 consecutive balls to open his count. Pioneers of Western Nebraska catching some momentum here. He takes a walk on 4 pitches, does Elijah Einen. Second walk issued by Zachary Sanders on the bump for the Miracles. Pioneers went and took 2 off the Boulder 64s 2 days ago. Swept a doubleheader in Boulder on the road, and then came here and won 24-2 yesterday. It was an offensive explosion. I texted back to Sam Eliason, who was calling play-by-play for us on the Front Range Baseball Network for that game last night in Fort Collins. Pick over to first, back goes Einen, with Ronan Hella in the box for the Foxes. I said to Rochelle Reynolds, GM for the Foxes and Prospectors and 64s with the Mesa Sports Group, Rochelle Reynolds and Sam Eliason, I said, wow, we just had a 24-2 here in Colorado Springs. Miracles suffered through that one with the loss. I said, hope you have a better one tonight. And they said, we do too. And then, no doubt, final score there, exactly the same, 24-2. Yeesh. Strike working down in the zone. Ronan Hella is the batter against Zachary Sanders. Hella is a new participant for the Fort Collins Foxes. Just finished at UCCS. Still has a year of eligibility left on the collegiate side. I think I was told by one of his teammates, strike called there, 1-2, that Ronan graduated in 3 years, I was told. Congratulations on that, Ronan. Said he studied computer science and math. Ronan told me that. I got the straight skivvy foul ball from Hella. Studied computer science and math at UCCS. That's University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. So right here, this same spot where we're playing today, same city. But he's playing for the Fort Collins Foxes, a couple hours north up I-25. A couple hours with no traffic. Go at the wrong time, it's about 4 hours. Ugh. Ground ball to short, out on the front side, fielder's choice with Hella. He'll be on at first after the fielder's choice, 6-4 on the front side, put out of Elijah Einen. Jackson Schlepper, the shortstop, to Jeremiah Lucero, the second baseman. 1 away. Score and status bug on the lower right of your screen is correct at 3-0. Top of 2, 1 out, 1 on. Ronan Hella, there's a breaking ball in to Owen May. Hella is slated to start on the bump for Game 2 today, coming at you after the conclusion of this one. Game 1 of a doubleheader, both here on the Front Range Baseball Network. Hella is back to first. He's going to start Game 2 on the mound for the Foxes, who they're in good situation with the arms, as are the front-running teams in this league. The Boulder 64s, well-stocked with arms, as are the Western Nebraska Pioneers. Little bobble at short, got him just in time. Schlepper at shortstop hit his glove, and he kind of juggled it. Didn't drop it, but he had a little bit of a juggle in the exchange, able to grab the ball before it fell to the ground. That was the difference. He made a nice throw moving away from the bag, heading toward the left field line behind third base. He pivoted and fired it back. Put out made by Jeremiah Lucero at second base. So back-to-back fielder's choices with the fielder choosing second base. That was Owen May, hit the ground ball. He's on first base now with 2 down. Drew Oreskes, number 8 batter. Oreskes, the DH. Oreskes from Dordt University in Iowa, El Dorado Hills, California. But Drew Oreskes, the Dordt University collegiate location. He's a teammate of Matthew Eubanks at Dordt. Fouls it away, left side. Matthew Eubanks, a 6'4" right-handed pitcher, pitched last night in the huge win for the Foxes, 24-2. And Matthew Eubanks went 4 innings. I think he went clean as far as no runs allowed for Eubanks. Teammates with Oreskes, who's batting. He swings and misses, and that's strike 3. Won't get to it quite yet, but was setting up the fact that his Dordt teammate, Oreskes, his teammate at Dordt, Matthew Eubanks, got a chance to talk with Matthew on an interview today. We'll be sprinkling that in throughout today's first game. You'll hear from Matthew Eubanks coming up here in a few breaks from now, and that interview will be chopped up into portions throughout a couple innings of today's Game 1, 7-inning ball game, Foxes and Miracles. Looking forward to hearing the conversation with Matthew Eubanks during this game. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning after the strikeout. It puts Miracles in good position with a 7-inning game. It'll get late early on this one, and it's 3-0 Miracles batting with the lead in the bottom of 2. 7, 8, and 9, Ben Clayton, Jeremiah Lucero, Bryson Martinez coming to the plate. This is a test of the emergency alert system. Run! This has been a test of the emergency alert system. In the event of an actual emergency, you're probably cooked.
All yard baseball. All yard baseball.
Bottom of 2, here come the Miracles, batting 7, 8, and 9. Clayton Lucero Martinez facing Dominic Selfo, second inning for the starter Selfo. Zachary Sanders, starter for the Miracles. Here's a ball lifted to left. That thing is deep. That ball going to stay fair and hit the trees. Gone on a first pitch hammer shot from Ben Clayton. First baseman Clayton, 7 spot in the order. Opens up the bottom of 2 with a blast. Miracles vacate their first base dugout. Head coach John Byington at the top. He's leaning on the rail. He's got the hand up in the air taking 5s. Thanks to coach manager John Byington, his assistant Marcus Gilmore doing the work with the Miracles. Enjoyable this weekend, midweek into the weekend, hanging out with the Miracles group. Beautiful home park. Renamed Blocktickets Park just about a month ago. Known as UC Health Park, was Security Service Field prior to that. Variety of names, but now Blocktickets Park. Bryson Martinez swings, foul, tipped it. Strike 2 against Martinez. 350 down the line. See Ross Frank coming out of the dugout for the Foxes, walking with Logan Gutterman, and there's one other Fox. It's Kieran Lawing down in the bullpen, left field side for the Foxes in the bullpen. Ball inside, 1-2 count. 350 down the lines. On your screen on the camera shot we have here from the high look in the press box, you can see the left field foul pole at the very edge of the left side of your screen, that yellow extended screen and pole there. Couple advertisements over from the Coca-Cola sign in left. That's the yellow foul pole, very edge of your screen. And on the right side, you can just see that same thing. We go foul pole to foul pole on the camera shot here. 350 down the lines, bouncing pitch as a ball. Vinny Angle blocks it. And again, we've talked about that this season, especially for any younger stream viewers who like to understand the catcher craft. Nobody aboard. That pitch was going to be a ball. It was a dirt ball, kind of purposely put in that spot. Here's a 2-2. That misses for a full count. Vinny Engel worked hard to block right there, even though it was clearly not going to be a strike. The whole pitch design is to get the batter fooled, and he gives a weak swing at it. If he swings at that and misses with first base unoccupied, he's going to be able to run. So a catcher knows you've got to block. You do it all the time anyway. This ball lifted to right on a 3-2. That'll be a fly ball to Bertucci. And 1 out. Bertucci makes the catch. 1 run in and 1 out on the board for the Miracles, bottom of 2. You block at all times, regardless. 0-0 count, first pitch of the game, last pitch of the game. Doesn't matter because, as a catcher, you know a premium job you have is to keep that umpire clean, protect the umpire behind you, build their confidence, their trust, foul ball in the net above the head of on-deck batter Hunter Morgan, who ducks and covers on the slice foul over his head. First base on deck circle from Bryson Martinez, who's got an 0-1 count. Jeremiah Lucero was out on the fly out. Swing and a strike 2 there. So the more you block, the more an umpire gets comfortable and can really stand in and watch pitches. If you watch really young baseball, like, still learning a lot, catchers maybe aren't great yet, umpires bail out a lot on pitches coming in at them because they haven't built trust in the catcher to protect them. In this case, Engel earning the trust and respect back there. Soft liner to second base is an out for Bryson Martinez, 2 down. Owen May, soft liner catch at second. I was talking about Drew Oreskes being from Dordt University, teammate of Matthew Eubanks. Matthew, our featured interview guest throughout today's game, in-game, during breaks, between innings. I was going to say, too, Owen May at second base. And Fox's, no offense, offended Fox's players. No offense needed here. Strike 1 to Hunter Morgan. A lot of great smiles on this team. I'm based out of Fort Collins. Cover the Foxes a lot. Great smile team. Really, just, you guys are beautiful. This ball to right field. Bertucci on the retreat, and that'll get over Bertucci's head and right. Hunter Morgan's got his second hit of the day. He's thinking 3. 2 out, triple for Hunter Morgan, who is now 2 for 2 in 2 innings of play. Second triple of the day. This is a big park, so it's a triples park with a 410 center field, big gaps at 385. That ball over the head of Nick Bertucci in right field, 2 out. And a runner aboard at third base is the leadoff guy, Hunter Morgan. All these great smiles mean it, but was going to note Owen May is on the all-smile team, as is Matthew Eubanks. That was my connection, 6 degrees of Dort separation or 6 degrees of smile separation. The beaming smiles of Owen May, who's playing second base defensively. Talked to Owen a little bit today before the game, sliced, and that's going to get foul from number 2 batter Jackson Schlepper. Big thanks to Owen May, by the way. A couple days ago, he bailed us out. Foxes have been doing lessons at the Fort Collins Baseball Club Training Center. I run FCBC as my other gig. Fort Collins Baseball Club. We have a training center where Foxes are doing some lessons and some clinics and camps and things. And the other day we had a gap in our coverage. Kind of last minute, Owen May jumped in and did a great job with a lesson. He of the beaming smile, and Matthew Eubanks also of the beaming smile. Matthew off today after the start yesterday, the pitching appearance yesterday. Ground ball towards second. Bouncing to Owen May, picks it up. May throws it to Hank Smith, and that will round out the second inning. But the Miracles get a home run to lead it off. A 2-out triple gets stranded. Another run goes on for El Paso County Baseball. Hey, why not? Let's get into our first segment of a multi-segment interview with Fox's player Matthew Eubanks. In-game thoughts from Fox's right-handed pitcher Matthew Eubanks start right here. Foxes at Miracles in Front Range League action in the press box at Blocktickets Park. It's cool when I'm here. It's cooler when Matthew Eubanks is here. Matthew, thanks for jumping in the box and sharing a little bit more, adding a little flavor to today's broadcast. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I actually should have asked you this not while I'm being accountable for it for other people listening. Do you go Matthew all the time? Do you shorten to Matt? What do you do?
No, very interesting actually. I tell everybody Matthew, but over the course of the season and school year, it's just Matt. So the only person who calls me Matthew nowadays is my mom.
Well, I only call you Matthew because I hadn't heard differently. So
Right, sure.
your mom and me, we're on it with you.
Yeah, mom
All
and
right.
dad now.
I'm sticking with Matthew then. I guess before we get to the other stuff, you just mentioned mom, and you just told me a second ago you're the oldest of 6 kids.
Yeah, I am. Oldest of 6. I'm
That's
20.
2/3 of a baseball squad.
I know, we're almost there.
So tell us about the family.
Yeah, mom and dad live in Concordia, Kansas. Had me, first kid. I'm 20 now, and my youngest sibling is 4. So my mom and the 2 youngest actually came out last weekend and hung out in Foco. So
Cool.
I got to see them. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Where are you living this summer?
Well, this summer I have a host family up in Fort Collins.
Who is that?
Tom and Katie
Dugans.
Dugan. Yeah,
So he
Dugans,
coaches
yeah.
for us at the Fort Collins Baseball
Tom
Club.
does
And
say
they
that a lot.
came to me and talked to me. They're like, we're going to have a guy, and it's you. That's super cool.
Interesting.
How about your parents? Were they from Concordia, or where are they from?
Yeah, my mom or my dad, born and raised there, and my mom was, I guess my grandpa kind of traveled with the military, so she was in like Europe from time to time, but ultimately settled in Concordia. So.
Okay. More with Matthew Eubanks, Fox's right-handed pitcher, coming up during the game. We go into the 3rd inning of play, 7-inning ball game. Thanks to Tom and Katie Dugan. Tom Dugan coaches for us with the Fort Collins Baseball Club. He coaches an intermediate 10-year-old team called the Blast. Having fun this season. Tom Dugan and Katie Dugan do a great job with that bunch for the Fort Collins Baseball Club, and took on some hosting duties with the Foxes. Much appreciation for that, too. Here's a pitch from Zachary Sanders that stayed out of the zone. It's a 2-1 count to the number 9 batter in the order, Vinny Angle. Angle leading off the top of 3, swings and misses. All right, so time to bust Vinny. Vinny was the one who Owen May had to fill in for on a lesson the other day, because Vinny, we were laughing about it in the outfield today, so I think he's okay with me saying this. Here's a 2-2 pitch, wide for a 3-2 count. Vinny put diesel in his non-diesel vehicle a few days ago, and wasn't able to make his lesson because the car wasn't feeling great after that. Car was a little under the weather. Vinny said he had to siphon it out, got about 5 mouthfuls of diesel doing that, and needed the backup from Owen May to come and handle his lesson while he remedied his diesel in the ethanol tank, the unleaded fuel tank. 3-2 pitch, leading off the top of 3 to Angle. Draws a walk, catcher's aboard. Might see a courtesy runner here for the catcher, Vinny Angle. Warm day, but a little breeze blowing here. That definitely makes it a little nicer. Temps getting a little high again in Colorado on this early summer day. Showing 84 degrees in the Springs. That's not brutal. We're not complaining about that, but obviously high elevation here. And when it's direct sun, it heats up fast. Colorado Springs elevation, just over 6,000 feet, this city. Angle the catcher with nobody out. He's staying on for now. I imagine if we get an out or two, then a courtesy runner will come out for Vinny. Strike to the leadoff batter, back around to the top of the order here for the Foxes with Nori Todd. Colorado Springs population, by the way, as of last count in 2023, just under 500,000 people, about 489. Angle takes off. Here's the throw. Head first in, and safe at second base is the catcher. Vinny Angle swipes a bag. Put the runner on 2 with nobody out. Foxes look to start carving into the deficit. Down by 4. Pitch to Todd on a 2-1 count. Nori lobs that to left field, shallow, and the shortstop's back there. Schlepper makes the play. Long run from left field for Bryson Martinez. Good job by shortstop Jackson Schlepper, understanding he's just got to be a go guy on that one, and a high pop out to deep short, a.k.a. shallow left. Cade Gavina comes to the plate. Number 2 batter in the Fox's order. He hit a nubber back to pitcher to the third base side of the mound. Nice play by Zachary Sanders on that ball. Sanders sees Gavina get down and swing well on that one. That'll score Vinny Angle, and Gavina's heading for two. He'll stand up into second base. Cade Gavina with an RBI double puts the Foxes on the board. Cade Gavina, that pitch down and in, and Cade took a good swing at it. He lowered the barrel, hammered it through the down and in portion of the zone, and pulled that hard to left field. Vinny Angle's leadoff walk and stolen base turned into a run. Put the Foxes on the board for one. Ball loose at the plate. De La Cueva recovers, but not in time. Cade Gavina is going to move up to third. Run 90 feet away now. That would cut the lead now down to half. It's 4-1. Fox is looking to make it 4-2. Anything productive here from Hank Smith, who's got a 1-0 count. Smith watches a strike, 1-1. Fox's explosive offense, they scored 24 yesterday. Miracles allowed 24 yesterday. Good start so far for Zachary Sanders. 1-1 pitch. Tries to break one and missed the zone. Fox is sort of a powder keg, always waiting to pop on offense. They're in the heart of the order right now with Hank Smith, Nick Bertucci, Elijah Einen. The barrels just keep on a-coming here. Smith tracks that pitch nicely. Saw it all the way down and through. 3 balls, 1 strike. Sanders' pitch will put Hank Smith aboard on a walk. Corners now, and Bertucci batting. Cleanup guy. One of the premier power hitters in the Front Range League. Miracles in a little jam here. They'd, of course, love a double play ball. Probably won't be on very long. I imagine Smith is going to get going from first base. He'll go right here. De La Cueva is going to throw through and going to call Smith out. Runner's going to score. Double steal brings Cade Gavina to the plate. Hank Smith actually went to the deceleration slide. He might have been, I don't know, there. That tag was going down. The ball beat him by a good amount. De La Cueva made the decision to throw through, and he saw he had him, but it made a good throw on it. A creative slide by Hank Smith, and we don't run replay, but if we did, that one might show something a little different on the when the bag was had by Smith compared to the tag on him. Strike here to Nick Bertucci, an 0-2 count. So it's Gavina across the plate, making it 4-2. Fouled back. Oh, no, hit by a pitch. Sorry, I was looking down at the score bug. See, that's what happens when I try to keep the score bug up. I looked down, I heard something. Ball hit the backstop. It hit Bertucci, not his bat. 4-2 is the score. Now a runner on first only with 2 down. Fox is still at it here in the top of 3, having cut the lead in half for the Miracles, trying to get themselves back to the bats. El Paso County Baseball, they're going to have Austin Reese, who tripled his first time up, Jansen Roberts and David Ada coming to the plate when they can get off of defense here. Strike 1 peppered in by Zachary Sanders, facing this gauntlet of an order for the Foxes, including this middle of the order with all kinds of thump in it. Elijah Einen. He, last week had a 7-for-7 day. I'm going to talk about that all year long for Elijah. 7-for-7. That was one game. That was not a doubleheader. A big offensive day for the Foxes, and Elijah went 7-for-7 on the day. He's going to foul this right side and tailing up into the patio. It bangs off the patio and flies back into the right field fair area. It bounced off of the metal patio furniture down at the base of the Coca-Cola courtyard over there. Cool element of Blocktickets Park. Got an indoor VIP area elevated up on a kind of like, that's like a third or fourth level view up there, 3 or 4 stories high above the playing surface. Probably say about back seats on the lower level and flat bench bleacher seating, but that all has backs on it too, so that's pretty awesome. And a berm down the left field side, a grass berm to sit on. Elijah Einen's going to foul this again right side. Stays in a 3-2 count here. 3-2, 2 away. Bertucci's moving on the pitch, obviously, with 3-2 and 2 outs from first base. Vinny Angle and Cade Gavina have scored in the inning. And there's a ball 4. Nick Bertucci moves along to second base. Elijah Einen takes the walk. Ronan Hella fielders his first time up. Batting in the number 6 spot is Hella. See if Ronan can chime in some run production in this third inning. Hella, the righty, watches strike 1, bent to the zone. Zachary Sanders, I saw him pitch at Diamond Club in Arvada too, and Zachary does some nice things on the hill. You could see it with him working on his breaking ball, and you can see him actively working on it. He'll throw it, kind of miss the release, and he's out there making adjustments. That one was well delivered. Nice pitch, high to the middle of the zone. See, there's one that flared on him, and that got to the backstop. The previous one, Bertucci rounds it hard. He'll hold up at third. That previous one from Sanders, the strike on the breaking ball, started it middle high and broke it to the outside part of the zone. It was a well-delivered breaking ball followed by one that just got away from him. Talking about Tom Dugan, Katie Dugan, Coach Tom Dugan leading the Blast in the 10-year-old intermediate. They're the host family for Fox's player Matthew Eubanks this summer. The Blast in Fort Collins Baseball Club intermediate play, going to get a foul ball right side from Ronan Hella. Tom Dugan's Blast sitting in tied for second right now in the 10-year-old intermediate league, which is, 9 teams deep in FCBC summer league action, spring summer leagues. Blast at 8-2, the Knights at 8-2, and the Bears leading the league at 10-0. That's a host family guy coaching one of our teams, hosting a Fox's player. Baseball all the way around. Pretty awesome summer in Fort Collins, Colorado. One of the North Stars of the Front Range League. This is one of the Southern Stars in Colorado Springs. Beautiful Blocktickets Park. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Runners won't go here because they're not in a force situation. 3-2 from Sanders. Ground ball from Hella, and it's going to be a quick turn, play, throw, and not in time at first base, and that'll score a run. Shortstop Jackson Schlepper did what he could. That roller was decelerating through the grass. That gave the shortstop time to get to it, but too long to get there and make the long throw across. Hella legs it out for an infield single and an RBI. And that brings this game to a 1-run differential. Ronan Hella's ground ball on a 3-2 pitch to the backhand side at shortstop, just enough to let him beat it. Louis De La Cueva rocks his way out to that pitch, just sort of collapsed to his throwing arm side, the left side batter's box. That pitch just kind of kept going wide. Owen May looking to tie the game. He'll swing and miss. If he can knock in Elijah Einen, it'd be a 4-run frame for the Foxes and a complete evaporation of the 4-run lead for the Miracles. They got 3 in the first. Now the Foxes with 3 here. Strike, tough spot. May took it for a 1-2 count. Runner from first hasn't gone yet. Ronan Hella ground ball, and it's booted it short, and that's going to tie the game. Schlepper was going to go the short way with it. Last hop got him. He clanked it, and the unearned run scored. Elijah Einen comes to the plate. And the Foxes have managed a 4-run frame to even things up. E6 off the swing from Owen May. 9th batter of the inning now in the box, Drew Oreskes. Ball 1 to Oreskes, struck out his first time. In this inning for the Foxes, a walk, a double from Gavina, a walk, a hit by pitch, a walk, infield single, and an error. Some of this self-inflicted from the Miracles. Young roster for El Paso County Baseball Miracles. Taking some lumps here in the third inning, 7-inning game. Oreskes lifts that to center, a little shallow, a little acceleration, and a catch in center field by Hunter Morgan. 9 batters come to the plate for the Foxes in the top of the third, and they even the game at 4 runs apiece. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5. Reese Roberts Ada in the bottom of the third for the Miracles. More from Matthew Eubanks in our pregame conversation coming right now. Another segment of my conversation with Fox's right-handed pitcher, Matthew Eubanks. Okay. It's Matthew Eubanks, a pitcher for the Foxes, right-armed pitcher.
Yeah, right-handed. Yeah.
6'4", we're going with?
6'4", yeah.
You threw last night. We're going to get to the hard stuff now. Let's get to the real meat of the interview. So just, I guess, let's go specific to last night. I know it was this game here yesterday was 24-2, and it turns out your game last night was 24-2.
Yeah.
You threw, what'd you say, 4 innings?
Yeah.
How'd it go? Give us a little wind back through your 4 innings.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Went 4 innings. Kind of went into it, wanted to work on some things. I worked with pitching coach Jay, so I was like, I'm going to go in there with an intent. I think so. 4 innings, no runs. I think 3 base runners. 2 of them I put on myself. So the walks have been kind of an issue for me, like especially at school. So not this summer. I'm trying to work on not walking guys as much, but.
An issue we've had in the Front Range League here for the first month or so of the season has been some walkiness, a lot ball strike ratios, all that. So I appreciate you just brought that up. And for you were more in the zone last night. And I've started to see that more in the league. Honestly, it feels to me like there's been a higher strike ratio. Fortunately, that's I think where we all want to get to. Hitters want that too.
Yeah, for sure. Like the hitters are up there to hit the ball, pitchers up there to throw strikes. So, I mean, it's you give a little bit, you take a little bit. So
you told me as far as your path through baseball, high school years into college. Not just maybe not even a pitcher really before. So talk us back through that, kind of your progression through high school and into college.
Yeah, all throughout high school, I was a catcher. Kind of got thrown back there when I was younger because I was, pretty tall, pretty big. So they threw me back there. I did that throughout high school and committed to college as a catcher and spent my freshman fall as a catcher. Then I threw a bullpen because I was just interested, and shortly after I got called in the office and got PO'd. So I've been doing this for a year and a couple months. So it's still fresh, still new. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I got a lot to learn. So looking forward to it.
We never want to insult anybody, their intelligence about baseball, but I know there's usually at least one person who's still kind of on baseball 101, just kind of learning some of the stuff. So when you say PO, what do you mean?
Yeah, PO translates to pitcher only. So that's all you do is pitch the ball.
And what does that look like, practice, like at your school?
Yeah.
Practice, game day, all that. When you're a PO, I mean, you don't take BP at all, which is batting practice.
Right.
You don't take BP at all. You're just focusing on the craft of pitching.
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially like with BP, as a PO, we're just out in the outfield shagging, running around, catching balls.
Well, that doesn't sound bad.
No, it's fun. Trying to convince ourselves that we're still athletes, we still got it in us. But other than that, we play a lot of hacky sack. But then when it's time for catch play, like we lock in and have an intent for catch play and work on stuff.
Matthew Eubanks laying it down. Sorry to chop him off a little bit there. Had to get back to Kieran Lawing taking over on the mound. Pitching change for the Foxes. Lawing strike 1 to number 3 batter Austin Reese for the Miracles, who now find themselves in a tie ball game with the team that is sitting atop the standings of the Front Range League as of action today. Miracles good spot in their order trying to get back in the lead. Kieran Lawing, a good arm. Reese sees that. Well, that ball, Nori Todd from center field won't be able to get to that. It's a shallow shot. And Austin Reese, so he hit a ball the same direction last time and just crushed it, banged it off of the taller wall just to the right of the scoreboard on your screen. That light blue tall sign right next to the Miracles logo on the scoreboard. This one he hits exactly to the same spot or the same kind of direction off the bat, but did not barrel it cleanly, and he drops it into shallow left. Reese 2 for 2 on the day. Jansen Roberts takes a pitch up. Jansen Roberts, 6'3", ground out, shortstop to first base, RBI in the first inning. Miracles runner aboard with nobody out. Lawing's pitch. Kieran Lawing takes over in relief for Dom Selfo. Dominic went 2 innings. Logan Gutterman still hovering around the bullpen down the left field side, the Foxes bullpen. Gutterman down there. 2-0 count to Jansen Roberts. Lefty batter, righty arm. There goes the runner from first. He slipped on his takeoff, but Engel's throw is down. Didn't get all that one from behind the plate, Vinny. And Austin Reese succeeds on the steal of second. Austin took off, and he spun one tire getting out of there. It kind of foot flew up, and he had a little stumble step. One of those you almost want to shut it down. It's tough, though, because the back pick's likely to come if you do that. He's sort of committed with where he was, and he finishes off the steal. Reese at second behind Lawing pitching. That was a foul tip at the plate. Engel's going to go talk to Kieran Lawing. Jansen Roberts fired at it. It was called a deflected foul tip. Engel chased it, concerned that it might have been a loose ball for Reese to move up on from second base. Count sits at 2-2. Jansen Roberts just graduated from Cheyenne Mountain High School here in Colorado Springs, where we're at today. Phenomenal high school player. His team went all the way to the final game of the state tournament. Lost to Golden. Runners up in the state title in Class 4A. 5A is the biggest class in Colorado. Great season of ball for Cheyenne Mountain and Coach Mark Swope. And Jansen Roberts, a huge part of that. I've said it. I know if you've heard me say it a couple times in this broadcast, you're maybe tired of it if you're not a Miracles fan or a Jansen Roberts family member, but he hit the walk-off granny. Reese takes off from third. Roberts taps it back to pitcher. Lawing makes the play. Austin Reese back to third on a throw across. He's safe as Elijah Einen runs it down. Wide throw from Hank Smith. So a lot of action there. Runner took off. Reese from second. He was stealing third. Roberts had 2 strikes on him. He had to swing at a pitch that he felt was going to hit the zone. He taps out to pitcher Kieran Lawing, and Reese is over at third base. Jansen Roberts hit that walk-off grand slam on Wednesday night, 10th inning, for a 16-12 win over Diamond Club, and it was a just absolute tank. The lefty pulled it to right center. And again on your screen, if you can see between the 2 foul pole, or not foul poles, 2 light poles on the right side of your screen, if you look at those 2 light poles to the right side, foul pop is going to be out of play behind home plate. He hit it kind of right between those 2 poles, and just to the left of the clock and the vibes sign that sticks up above the high wall out there, just to the left of the 385 indicator. I mean, it was just a missile that ended the game. Teammates tried to dump a bucket of water on him, and he declined it. He saw it coming, and he held him off, did Jansen Roberts. 1 out, go-ahead run at third base. Lawing's pitch on an 0-2 is out of the zone. Speaking of that clock out there, yesterday for Western Nebraska, they hit a ball that I think it hit the clock that says 5:07 right now. which should be a home run, but the umpires didn't see that, and it ended up being a double on what really was a bomb. This pitch is through at the plate, and in to touch the plate is Austin Reese. Leadoff single, a stolen base for Reese, moves up on a ground ball, scores on a wild pitch by the Foxes. Back in the lead go the Miracles. Base is clear. David Ada has a 2-2 count against Kieran Lawing. Lawing delivers and strikes out David Ada. Swings at an upstairs pitch for the second out. And it's Louis De La Cueva, the catcher for the Miracles. Louis, chatted with him before the game today. He was saying, I think he said he's taken both games today behind the dish. He's going to go double 2 7-inning shots behind the plate for the Miracles. Little cloud cover, doing a lot right now to keep the direct sun off the field, and that'll help De La Cueva. This will help him out too. His first pitch swing sends it to left field and down. Probably get a courtesy runner here for De La Cueva, who singles with 2 away. Smooth swing from Louis. And Mason Aaron for the Miracles dons a helmet and emerges from the first base dugout. Mason Aaron running for Louis De La Cueva. Mason Aaron was on the search for that foul ball earlier that I was trying to yell from the press box where to go for it. Now he's running at first base. Mason caught yesterday, giving Louis a little break. Now he gives him a break on the base paths, running for the catcher De La Cueva. Lawing picks to 1. He got back all right, but again, looked like the foot kind of came loose in the dirt over there by first base, trying to dive back, Mason Aaron. Great job by the grounds crew here. They've been very attentive to this field during all these games that I've been here for since Wednesday. Almost, I wonder if it's a little dry over there, or I don't know, it's a couple guys who've spun their tire just a little trying to take off at first base, either toward second or diving back. On deck is Jeremiah Lucero. Ben Clayton has a 1-0 count. Pitch to Clayton is down, nicely blocked by Vinny Engel, Mr. Diesel himself. Vinny did say about the whole diesel incident, putting diesel in his ethanol car the other day. His other vehicle at home apparently is a diesel. He's from Nevada. He's got a different car here and just glitched and put the wrong stuff in it and choked out his own vehicle. Diesel catches a strike there behind the plate from Kieran Lawing on the bump in his first inning of work. 2-1 count. Mason Aaron, see if he takes off. He's going to head back on a pick toss from Lawing. Kieran thinking the same thing, that it might be time for Mason Aaron to make a go at it on a steal attempt. Lawing comes set. Closed position on the set position. Here goes Aaron. Takes off. Angles throw. On line, but late and in safely is Mason Aaron. Courtesy runner steals a bag. Now he's in scoring position with 2 down. Two-two pitch to Ben Clayton. Can he deliver a base knock here? He's going to chop it to pitcher. Nice play by Kieran Lawing. Had to make a backhand pick on that on the front edge where the grass and the dirt come together on the circular mound here. And Lawing made an athletic glove play on that. Kieran played a lot of center field in high school at Rocky Mountain High in Fort Collins. He played that like an infielder. I know in his youth days he played in leagues that I orchestrated through Fort Collins Baseball Club. Played some infield there, did Kieran Lawing. Just flashed the leather. Pitcher defending, and the 1-3 putout stops the Miracles at 1 run in the third frame. El Paso County Baseball back on top. Into the 4th inning of a 7-inning ball game as we reach the midsection of this matchup between the Foxes and the Miracles, with the Miracles on top, 5-4, top of 4, 9-1 and 2 heading to the plate. Second time in the game, Vinny Engel will lead off for the Foxes from the 9 spot. Then Nori Todd and Cade Gavina. If you're a real baseball player, that guy's a dude. You gotta have the newest, expensivest bat on the market. Bro. And it's gotta have the coolest name. Bro. Brand new. Just dropped. Tanks. Whatever the newest metals and materials might be, this bat is always one evolution newer. The Batco Crouching Tiger Nuke Mash Pummel Destroy Quad X Quadruple Extreme. Making mediocre hitters superstars. That guy's a dude. $600 at a time. Bro.
Backyard baseball.
It's the top of the 4th from Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs. El Paso County Baseball Miracles hosting Fort Collins Foxes. Thad Anderson yapping at you from, I think this is the best press box in the Front Range League. Fantastic venue here. Pop deep, a little more than a pop. That's got a fly ball, heavy distance right at the front of the track out there at about 400 feet. Vinny Engel gives it a ride, flies out to center field. Hunter Morgan, center fielder, on it. So Engel is led off twice now. He's batted twice. He's led off twice. He batted for the first time in the 3rd inning, walked, stole a base, run scored on the double from Cade Gavina. Led off last inning, and 9 guys came to the plate. Leads off this inning, flies out to center, and now Nori Todd, who is 1 for 2 today, single and a pop out. Manager John Byington for the Miracles comes out of the dugout, indicates some defensive positioning. He wants his left fielder over toward the line. Speedy Nori Todd with big gaps here at Blocktickets Park. See if Nori can put one into an extra base scenario. He's going to foul that away left side. Just moved Bryson Martinez, the left fielder for the Miracles, toward the foul line in left, creating a little more gap in left center. Pretty significant gap. You can see it. Plane just went over. The shadow just flew over the gap. With the airport just down yonder way from where we're at. And military flight activity also heavy here in Colorado Springs. Big old gap in left center. Todd with a 3-1 count. He'll take a strike, 3-2. Going to hear more from Matthew Eubanks, by the way. Fox's right-handed pitcher who chatted us up pregame today. Todd there gets his ball 4 pitch. Nori flings the bat back to the third base side, heads down to first. Speed on the bags now with Nori on base. And the 1 out on the chart for the Foxes. The scoreboard here, it's operated by the home team. And big thank you, big credit. No ill anything intended by the comment here, because I'm trying to keep up with the bug, and I get it. I'm not all over that either, but the scoreboard still says Pioneers. It actually says Pioneer because the letter limit on there, it looks like it's a, 7-letter limit. It says Pioneer as the visiting team and Miracle, 7-letter limit as the home team. Yesterday's team was the Pioneers, and today is the Foxes. I don't think the Miracles want to see the name Pioneers up there. It was 24-2. Western Nebraska Pioneers scored the same number of runs as there are hours in a day yesterday. I think the Miracles would just as soon see that name go away, but you don't really love to see the Foxes name up there either. They're a beast of a crowd when they roll into your park. Miracles doing well so far, holding their ground. 5-4, the home team leading in the top of fourth. One out, and big speed on base. Nori Todd is a run creator. Cade Gavina doubled his last time. He's at the plate. 1-1 the count. Boulder 64s and Greeley Grays are in action right now in Greeley on the Front Range Baseball Network. Alex Becker on the call there. Zachary Sanders, the starting pitcher for the Miracles, misses there for a 2-1 count. Zachary getting a nice start here against this potent offensive team. He's sticking around. He's working in the fourth. Had a tough frame last inning, giving up 4. Strike from Sanders. It's a 2-2 count for Cade Gavina in the box right side. Cade ready. Sanders picks to 1. High fire and a leaping grab by Ben Clayton at first base to avoid. If that ball goes past the first baseman, Nori Todd's on third base. I don't think there's much question. He goes 2 bags there. Miracles do have bullpen action. Nick Marburger. Here goes Todd. He's off, and this ball's popped up. Back to snag it is the second baseman, and that's Jeremiah Lucero. Lucero was heading toward the bag to cover on the steal. For him, fortunately, the pop-up was still in range to recover and run back to where he just came from. Cade Gavina pops out, 2 down. And the Miracles probably feel fortunate that Nori Todd is still standing at first base. He'll be off and running, I imagine, pretty quickly in this count with 2 outs. And number 3 batter Hank Smith up. Todd would love to be on second base for anything Hank does with the bat here with 2 down. One ball to Hank Smith, now 2-0 the count as that pitch buzzes in. Catcher Louis De La Cueva picks that off the elbows of left-handed batter Hank Smith. There's a strike to Smith, 2-1 count. Seven-inning game. Miracles building some confidence if they can keep it going here. Todd's going to take off. Strike is the call. Nori, I think he beat the initial throw, and then the slide. There's a point by our field umpire, Steve Schlepper, and he said that backside tag, I think Todd lost contact with the bag. Nori had nothing to say about it, got up and walked away, and it's a caught stealing out at 2. That looked like it was shortstop Jackson Schlepper on the cover. Hank Smith will be back up to bat. He'll restart in the 5th inning, the number 3 spot, so a good spot in the order, but the Miracles in a good spot on the scoreboard. They are up 5-4. Bottom of 4, 8-9-1. Lucero, Martinez, Morgan. Let's hear more of the conversation with Matthew Eubanks, Fox's righty, part of our in-game conversation.
Stuff done.
You're all pretty sure you can still hit, though, right?
Oh yeah, I think you ask anybody down there, they're like, yeah, like, give me an AB, I got it.
Have you taken hacks with the Foxes at all?
No, I really wish I could because I haven't not swung for a while, so I feel like I'd feel right at home.
And you're at Dordt University in Iowa. Can you tell us about the school and the program a little bit?
Yeah, so I go to Dordt University up in Sioux Center, Iowa. We actually have a saying up there, love the school, hate Iowa. Iowa's a very brutal place in the winter months. But yeah, I know school's amazing. My freshman year at school, our head coach actually got fired, so we're kind of under new management this past year. Really turned things around. We finished just shy of 500. A lot of our guys are coming back, so looking forward to going back there and like reshaping the program.
What are you studying?
I'm going for kinesiology, like pre-PT, physical therapy, stuff like that.
I got a little thing here at elbow. Can you far enough along?
Actually,
You can help me out a little bit.
Things. Upslope therapy in Fort Collins. I've been going up there and shadowing and watching them do their stuff. So.
Oh, that's awesome. It's
pretty cool.
To be able to work that in your summer ball.
Find some time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Last thing, and then let you get down. I know you kind of have an off day today, so you get to hang out. Beautiful park here in Colorado Springs.
Park,
The Foxes team as a team and the group, and now you're about a month together. How would you describe maybe the team so far and your experience in this summer league so far?
I got one word, awesome.
Not quite done with the Matthew Eubanks comments, but we'll stop right there with his one word for his experience with the Foxes so far this summer. Awesome, said Matthew Eubanks, who pitched 4 innings yesterday for the Foxes in their big win. They're down by 1 right now with Kieran Lawing working for the Foxes. He'll throw strike 1 to Jeremiah Lucero, a breaking pitch. Nicely landed by Lawing. 0-1 to Lucero. This one bounces up wide. 1-1. Jeremiah Lucero, the right-handed batter in the box, defensively the second baseman. He had a nice night a couple nights ago in the win over Diamond Club. He was on base, scoring runs, had a double in that. He laced the double to the left center gap. We'll see what Lucero does here on a 1-1 pitch. Watches a bender, waits on it, rolls it to Owen May at second base, to Hank Smith at first base, with Vinny Angle, the catcher, trailing to clean up any miscues. And the right side defense does the job on Lucero, 1 out. Got a little bit more, not a lot more, but a little bit more from Matthew Eubanks to cap off his comments. Thanks again to Matthew for great work with the young folks. He's been doing lessons for us with Fort Collins Baseball Club players and has gotten rave reviews. Pitch 1 is strike 1 swung on by Bryson Martinez. That does say something, though. A lot of times you see that. He's 20 years old, Matthew Eubanks. He's one of 6 kids. The youngest is 4. So he's got a 16-year differential there with a sib. And you kind of see that oldest brother kind of thing when he does work for us in the training center for Fort Collins Baseball Club. Matthew really does a great job with the young players, knows his ball. And that explains a lot, too. He's played catcher, corner infield, outfield, now a pitcher. I mean, he's seen lots of angles of the game and has a good encyclopedia of information to share with young people. Here's a ball sent to the right side. Base hit for Bryson Martinez. He's got his first hit, 1 for 2 on the day for Bryson. With 1 away and 1 aboard now for the Miracles. And that sends them back to the top of the order. Again, a younger roster. So these are some guys who are seeing some new things here in a wood bat league, playing against some older players. The Miracles have put up some good fights, had the Boulder 64s down and almost out and let them off the hook. They got a win over Pueblo Spradley Collegians, one of the top half teams in the league. Out at second base is the call on a spinning catch by shortstop Ronan Hella. Owen May working toward the hole. Good job to get the front side of that, keeping the runner out of scoring position. Martinez is fielder's choiced out for 2 down, and Hunter Morgan reaches on fielder's choice. Morgan, I imagine he'll be taking off, trying to swipe a bag with 2 down. Set the table for Jackson Schlepper. Here he goes, first pitch, and it's a breaking ball. Good pitch to run on, easy into second base, stand-up stolen base for Hunter Morgan. Strike 1 on the breaking ball. Kieran Lawing, second inning of work, trying to get out clean here. Gave up 1 last inning. Miracles on their number 2 batter, Schlepper. Watches a pitch out and away. 1-1 the count. Austin Reese on deck. Reese has been great today, 2 for 2 with a triple and a single. 2 runs scored, 2 RBI. He's looming on deck. Lawing would rather face him or whoever's up on the bump with the bags clear next inning. Miracles have 3 people sitting in the bullpen area, but nobody throwing right now. Foxes have 2 guys down there. And the conditions now have turned fantastic. The sun shielded by clouds. Really no wind to speak of, but very pleasant. So the bullpen guys just hanging out, enjoying the time down there. Foul ball. Elijah Einen ran for it. It was foul to the third baseman's backhand side. And you can see it down the left side from the Fox's third base dugout. Keep going down the dirt a little bit. Along the grass line there, there's standing water. That must be an irrigation situation because really there's not been rain of any note. And I don't think that was there yesterday for the game with the Pioneers. Lawing's pitch, just missed. Lawing spins out of that finish, liked his pitch, didn't get the call. Full count now, 3-2 down, runner on 2. So you got some standing water. Elijah Einen ran to get that ball, went down the line, and he stepped in some squish. Didn't step in the puddle part, but he stepped in a little squishy spot. Water down the left side in the foul area, grass to dirt. Lawing's 3-2. Chop towards short. Hella drops back, fires his throw, and call is foot pulled. Hank Smith made a great reach to the right field side of first base, down the line to the outfield side. I think he did come off, but then he shoved his leg back in time before the runner was there. The umpires are going to talk about it. That's a tough look from home because the play happened on the backside of the bag. So plate umpire Steve Naftanel would have a tough look from his angle, and out is the call. That's well arbeited. I like how they handled that. And now's a good time to give credit right there. That call, I think they got it right from the eye vantage point up here. Field umpire is Steve Schlepper, and let's just go at it. I'm all about it, man. Baseball and those who help make this game happen, the players, the umpires. Yeah, that's the same last name as the dude playing short for the Miracles. I asked base umpire Steve Schlepper that. I said, "Hey, I respect it. I'm no issue here, man. Like, you do what you do, and we trust that. And this kid gets to come out and play the game he loves, and he's doing that. And that's just the way assignments go, or availability, or whatever. And that call goes to the favor of the Foxes. Good time to point out the other point, as Schlepper is out, initially called safe on a pulled foot, and then that is overturned on a conversation, and down goes Schlepper on a ground out, leaving nothing on the board in the fourth for the Miracles. Fox is also scoreless in the fourth. First zeros frame for both teams of this game. Each team got nothing, and the count stays 5-4 Miracles on top of Foxes. We'll play the fifth inning in a one-run game. Good ball game, first of 2 today from Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs. 7-inning ball game, and we're into the fifth, 5-4. Back to the plate goes Hank Smith. He'll hack first pitch. Hack and Hank sends it foul left side, 0-1 count. Hank was at the plate with 2 outs. Nori Todd tried to swipe second and looked like he initially had it, but might have popped off the bag trying to slide to the backside of the base, outfield side. Hank Smith hammers that to right. That's got the wall. Austin Reese has it go over his head. Hank thinking 3. He'll pull up at 2 and lead it off with a double. Hank was on the move around first base. Wise decision there to pull up at second on a rope to right field that couple hops into the base of the tall wall in right field, right under the clock that says 5:32 p.m. Mountain Time on a sunny Friday afternoon in Colorado. And the Foxes have the tying run out there with nobody out, and they've got the thick of it coming here. Just started anyway. They've already had it coming with Hank Smith, who shows his clout. Nick Bertucci takes ball one. Bertucci hit by pitch in the third inning and scored as a result of his on base. Fouled off by Bertucci. 1-1. Nick has been used as a closer by the Foxes this season. This game shaping up as a potential opportunity to see Nick in the backside, 7-inning game. If the Foxes either creep ahead or in a hold their ground position late, we might see a little two-way action here out of Bertucci, who started in right field today, batting number 4. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Starter Zachary Sanders now into his 5th inning of work. That ball is tall to center. Hunter Morgan floats over to right center. Hank Smith will not tag. Good throw from Hunter Morgan. Zips that into shortstop Jackson Schlepper, and no chance to move up. Bertucci flies out to right center field, one down. Boulder 64s and the Greeley Grays playing. I think they went to 1 9-inning game today, as my understanding. It was going to be a double 2 7s, but I think they're playing 1 9er in Greeley. That was a 3 o'clock start, so that game getting along in the progression. Ball 1 comes in to Elijah Einen, 1-0 to Einen. Spradley Collegians and NOCO Prospectors playing in Fort Collins. That one started a little late, scheduled for 4:05, and they started a little bit late today. Strike to the outside edge. Einen, nothing he could do with that pitch. Beautifully placed by Zachary Sanders. Scoreboard shows 1-1 the count. Einen, low hands waiting for Sanders. Now elevates him up by the helmet. Little gentle circles with his hands. Chopped at the plate. Louis De La Cueva got a piece of that one, and plate umpire Steve Naftanel will walk out a ball to Zachary Sanders and buy De La Cueva some time. Appreciated by the catcher. Rework himself on a 1-2 with 1 out. Boulder 64s, it looks like from Greeley, they've now blown it open in Greeley in the bottom of the 7th, trying to run rule the Grays in a 9-inning game. They're up by 12. If they hold them here in the bottom of 7, it's over, with Boulder 64s picking up another W, up by 12 right now. Popped foul and out of play into the patio furniture in front of the Coca-Cola courtyard at the front edge of that area. Down the right field line. Mason Aaron catching in the bullpen for the Miracles, and David Ada warming up in the pen. Elijah Einen was just going to go ahead and wear it. He's in a 1-2 count. Einen had the right idea there. He's going to escape a 1-2 with the hit by pitch, but his bat is where that ball ended up. It hit the barrel, and then Elijah wisely, he didn't know where it went. He took off in case that thing went fair behind his head. It hit the bat, rolled around, stayed in the dirt circle, and went foul on the third base side of the plate. Grabbed by Louis De La Cueva, but Einen understood that if that thing ended up fair, that's a ball in play from behind his head on a foul off. It stayed foul. Manager John Byington cleans up that foul ball off the screen, and Einen still alive with a 1-2. Zachary Sanders, man, how about this day of work for Sanders? Gave up the 4 runs in the third. That's the only inning the Foxes have scored in today. Einen staying with it here. Fouls another one into the patio furniture. Filling up the patio. Sanders, another 1-2. This is shaping up well for Einen. Sanders is going to have to break out something totally different here. He'll miss on a bender wide, but Einen has that feel right now of a guy who's figured out the pitcher and is just spoiling stuff until he either gets something he can do damage with or work it to a walk. He's still a couple pitches away from that. Einen has 2 walks in the game against this same starter, Zachary Sanders. 2-2. Einen to right field. That ball is going to stay fair and get over the head of Austin Reese. Einen into second base, around third, and scoring. Einen's got a triple, and Hank Smith scores in front of him. Tie ball game. Deep at bat for Elijah Einen. He got the pitch he could do something with and did it. RBI triple. Einen's first hit of the day. He's been on base every time. 2 walks and the 3-bagger, and we're tied at 5. With 1 out in the top of the 5th. Great at-bat by Elijah Einen, who nearly behind the head barreled himself out with a nearly fair ball that he thought he was wearing. And instead, he fouls off a few more and then zips one to the right field corner to the wall. Hank Smith held up on that, waiting in case it was caught, but scored easily. Infield is in for the Miracles, hoping to cut a run at the plate. And now John Byington, lead man on the coaching staff for El Paso County Baseball Miracles, wanders out. Time to talk to Zachary Sanders, who has been out there since the start. We'll see what the decision is. Coach Byington, couple pats on the shoulder. I think, he checked on his guy, probably asked Sanders if he felt like he still had enough to get out of this 5th. I got to guess. I got a heavily wager this will be it for Sanders, but he's going to try to work out of the 5th, get a 5-inning start in the books of a 7-inning game. Saw David Ada in the bullpen a moment ago. No action there now. He's probably ready. And Ronan Hella, 6th batter in the order, takes in by the chin, spins away, ball 1. So the infield in to cut off the run. The idea is either field it and go 4 if Einen takes off, or freeze him, make him go back, and then take your out. And that's a walk pitch to Ronan Hella, and John Byington is back out of the dugout. He's given signs here to De La Cueva about what they want to do on 1st and 3rd. Didn't know if he was coming back out to get Sanders. He's not for the moment. 1st and 3rd situation. Defensive call has been made on what to do on 1st and 3rd with a 5-5 score. Ball towards short. Backhand try. Knocked down but not fielded cleanly, and everybody's safe. Elijah Einen scores on it. Foxes, for the first time today, take a lead. Trailed 4-0, tied at 4-4. Now, Fort Collins slides into the lead on an infield ground ball that'll be an infield hit. That maybe could have been 2, probably not. I don't think they turned that, so the run was probably going to score anyway. Hella down to 2nd, and Owen May, who moves well, he was on down at 1st on the infield hit. Ball to left, looks like it might find grass. It does fair. Runners are all going to go one bag. Had to wait again to see if it was caught by Bryson Martinez in left field. Couldn't get there. And Drew Oreskes flares one to left for a single. Foxes have them loaded. Coach Byington holding his ground, seeing if Sanders can. Now everybody on the Miracles side holding their breath for a double play ball right here. Vinny Engel, the 9 batter. Nori Todd, top of the order, would be the 4th time Nori has seen the starter Sanders. Bullpen is all heading back down toward the dugout on the first base side. I would imagine if they don't get Engel here, a pitching change would be next. Ball 1 to Vinny. Sanders pitch. Engel takes a strike. Pueblo Spradley Collegians in Fort Collins playing one game today with the NOCO Prospectors. Here's Sanders' pitch. Up to Engel. It's 2-1. There was some I-25 struggle, and that's the long struggle. From Pueblo to Fort Collins is the extreme ends of the key population corridor on I-25, and it's a long way. Southern Colorado to northern. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Engel watches for 3-1 upstairs. So some of the Spradley Collegians, they were a little late getting there. The game had to start a little late because of the traffic junk on a Friday up I-25. Just unpleasant. I did that a few weeks ago, going to Pueblo to call a game from Fort Collins. They're 7-1. Spradley Collegians leading in the 6th inning in Fort Collins. Pitch is in, and it's either a hit by pitch or a walk. Either way, it's an RBI for Vinny Engel, his 2nd time on base. We'll go walk. Didn't see any call from the plate about a hit by pitch. And here comes that pitching change. And Ronan Hella brings in another run for the Foxes, who are now up by 2 in the top of 5 with 1 out. Bases still full. Owen May to 3rd. Drew Oreskes to 2nd. Vinny Engel, RBI, ball 4, puts him on first base with a run pushed in. And it's pitching change time. Zachary Sanders comes off, number 23 for the Miracles, greeted by the entire group outside the dugout on the first base side. That's good work from a guy who started this one, it'll end up mathematically being 4 1/3, but he gets deep into the 5th, faces 7 batters in this frame. I'll give you the numbers on Zachary Sanders after a break here on the pitching change with David Ada taking over. And the final words of our conversation with Fox's pitcher Matthew Eubanks right now.
It's been pretty cool. Around a bunch of guys who know about baseball, and not that much older, not that much younger than me, so kind of all in the same boat. Just around a bunch of guys who know ball, want to play ball, want to get better. So it's a great atmosphere to be in, and especially the college student who wants to go back and be a big part of their team. So I think it's going to help me a lot.
And last thing we'll let you do you want to rattle off? I know you kind of made reference to the family, but you want to rattle off hellos or acknowledgments to anybody?
Yeah, I got hi mom, dad. Let's see.
Don't forget anybody.
My siblings here: Lucina, Priscilla, Bruno, Gus, and Vivian. I'll go one more. My grandma and grandpa, grandparents, all that, and then my girlfriend Julia. So
where's Julia at?
She's up in Sioux Center, ish, kind of around the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
She gonna get out to Fort Collins?
Yeah, actually, she leaves tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're gonna head down here tomorrow.
Okay.
And be here for a little bit. So.
Well, I'm pretty sure the popular fan vote after listening to this conversation will be on days when you're not pitching. Why don't you take over the broadcasting? You're natural, or you've studied a bunch. I don't know if you spent a bunch of time on this, but appreciate you coming up, Matthew. Good job yesterday with the 4 innings. We'll look forward to watching the rest of the season play out.
Yeah, thank you. Me too. Looking forward to it.
Matthew Eubanks. Here's Nori Todd, first batter to face the relief pitcher. First change on the hill for the Miracles goes to David Ada, who misses high and wide on his first pitch. 1-0 count to Nori Todd. There's a good pitch under the hands of Todd, and strike evens the count at 1-1. Nori, an opportunistic offensive player. He'll take what he can get on you. He's going to swing and He hit that a long way. That's got parking lot to the foul side on the right side. He hits it over the roughly 3 or 4 story Coca-Cola courtyard and lands it out by a giant recreational vehicle sale going on out in the parking lot here at Blocktickets Park. Probably just dented. There's a discount out there. There's a swing and a miss and a high heater from Ada. Gets Todd, who swings up top. Probably a dent in one of those RVs out there. Get a little discount if you want to run down here and buy one of those freshly dented RVs out in the parking lot. Now, base is full with 2 down, and Cade Gavina, he's 1 for 3 today. Hit a double that was a big shot. He's going to go first pitch. That is a high ball behind short. Not an easy play. Schlepper back, and he dropped it. And that one hurt. Gavina lobs a high pop-up that was deep with the outfielders coming in. Schlepper was on the back pedal, probably a little too long. That one is a shortstop. You probably got to turn and run a little more and get settled behind it. He was still on the kind of backside reach, and it just clanged out of the glove. So 2 runs come home on the 2-out pop-up error, and now the Foxes are pulling into command here. Runner takes off on a first and third. Throw is, got him. Tag hit the helmet of Gavina, and out at 2. Cade pretty sure that he was safe. I don't know that I disagree tremendously. That tag, it was a tough catch. It's short on the throw. Had to make a short hop catch. I thought the ball might wind up in center field to score the runner from third. It looked like Parker Fagans, who was courtesy running for Vinny Angle. Fagans was waiting at third. If that ball got loose, he's scoring. It was a nice pick on the short hop, but it looked like Gavina, his slide was through. The tag came on his helmet, which is the very end, the backside of the object to tag. The call is out. Foxes are waiting around asking for maybe a reconsideration. They're not going to get that. And it's a steal throw out. Caught stealing for the 3rd out. So for the 2nd time today, Hank Smith was up to bat, and he'll return to restart an AB next inning with a caught stealing while he's in the box. The other math of note for the inning is 5 runs in the frame for the Foxes. They were down by 1, 5-4. They flipped that and put themselves in firm command of a 7-inning ball game, 9-5, with Kieran Lawing coming back to the mound for Fort Collins.
River Morgan presents famous baseball quotes.
You tell me right now, Jimmy Morris.
It's supposed to be hard.
Always
If
involved.
it wasn't
hard,
easy,
everyone would do
second
it.
base
The
and
hard
keep your foot
is what
on
makes
first.
it great. You want to have a catch, Smalls?
Ball-yard baseball. Ball-yard baseball.
Holy NOCO prospectors on the other end of I-25 up in Fort Collins. They just did something big, put themselves back in a ball game. Kieran Lawing goes first pitch, swinging Austin Reese off of Lawing, and he drops another single. And Reese has hit the ball the same direction 3 times, twice just like that. soft liner lob shots into left for base hits. His first AB today was a rocket triple off the wall, that exact same direction. And Reese is 3 for 3 today. He scored the other 2 times he got on. 2 of the 5 runs for the Miracles today. Reese singles, and Jansen Roberts assumes the left side batter's box. Takes ball 1. Catcher Gladish for the NoCo Prospectors. His name is Catcher, not playing the position catcher. Catcher Gladish hit a grand slam at City Park a few moments ago in Fort Collins to change the score from 7-1, Spradley Collegians out of Pueblo, to 7-5. Spradley's still in the lead, but the NoCo Prospectors now in contention. It's a 9-inning ball game today. They're playing 1 today, a 9-inning go at it. They're in the 7th right now. Yeah, it was a 5-run 6th inning, including the grand slam from Gladish. That game now hotly contested down the backstretch in the top of 7. You know what? I'm going to do it after this inning, so go ahead, get yourself ready. Warm up your vocal cords. We're going to go 5th inning stretch. I'm going to play you the appropriate music for such a thing. It should have happened this last half inning. My bad. Kind of forgot about the 7-inning format here. But we'll get you the traditional treatment. We'll just do it. It's untraditional to be 7 innings anyway. It's called the 7th inning stretch. It'll be the 5th inning stretch, but it'll be after the 5th. You know, you get it. It's coming up at the bottom of this frame. Runner takes off, and that ball is hit high down the line and left. Back goes Einen. He's in foul ground. Nice catch by Elijah Einen. He was 2 feet firmly on the grass between the foul line and the dirt where the water is over there. Muddy area. So it was on that little grass sliver, not far foul, but Einen really had to hang with it. The sun is right behind that ball. The angle of the sun at 5:55 p.m. Mountain Time. The clock out in right center field is 1 minute behind. I think it lost a minute when it got hit by a miscalled double that should have been a home run yesterday. 1 out from Roberts. David Ada started as the DH, came in as a relief pitcher last inning. Runner at first base is Austin Reese. Reese took off on that pitch. He was stealing. He retreats to first, 1 out. Kieran Lawing over to first base on a pick toss. Again, scheduled starter in Game 2 for the Foxes. That is Ronan Hella, newest member of the Foxes summer roster. After his graduation from UCCS, that pitch bends inside the zone for a ball, 2-1 count. Yeah, let me double check that scoreboard. Says 1-1. Maybe I got ahead of it. Going with 1-1. I'll trust the scoreboard up there. That one's tighter. Scooting away from that is David Ada. 2-1 is the count. Plate umpire indicates. Matthew Eubanks, who was our conversation guest in game today, did start that game yesterday and went 4 innings. Swing and nothing there. Back pick, and it goes through underneath Hank Smith. And Reese is going to round second. He's heading for third. Bertucci fires, and 2 bags on the error on the pickoff. Going to give the E to the pitcher on that. Hank Smith frustrated. He thought he could have come up with that dig of a short hop throw, but it got through him and rolled into shallow right. Bertucci walking back in right, working his throwing arm after he came up and fired a ball toward third. He was walking back, kind of stretching out his arm. This is a hit by pitch. Ada is nuked by Kieran Lawing, just centered him up. That was a laser-guided shot to the number 21 on the back of Ada. Luckily, it was an off-speed pitch, so it wasn't big pain. It was just a direct hit, no way out for pitcher David Ada, who's hit by pitch. And he will catch a courtesy runner here for the Miracles. Nicholas Brainerd is on to run. Miracles hoping for some traction here in the bottom of 5, 7-inning game. Got to get something going here. And they've got something started. I'm sure Jansen Roberts would like to redo a swing there. He popped out to third. Great hitter, Roberts. Big out for the Foxes. Strike to Luis de la Cueva. The catcher is 1 for 2 today. Strikeout and a single. And it's my understanding, I'm looking at yesterday's game, I don't see Ronan Hella in the box score from yesterday. And I think he literally joined the Foxes today here in Springs. Ronan, a guy out of La Cueva High School in Albuquerque, graduate of UCCS. Here in town, so I think he just caught on with the squad today. Here's another pick throw that the Miracles block unintentionally. Brainerd diving back. Hank Smith wasn't going to get that. It drills Brainerd in the arm. Otherwise, that's going to score a run, but it sticks right there at first base with the base runner blocking the bad throw on the pick from Lawing. 1 out, first and third. See if Brainerd takes off. There he goes. Pitch is inside, and Vinny Engel looks aggressively to third base and eats it. Runner takes second. There he is on the bug, second and third with 1 out. So this should be day 1 of the Foxes' time. He'll pitch the next game. Starter will be Hella. Here's De La Cueva lobbing a foul ball that'll get out of play into the grandstands. Parker Fagans, by the way, noticed he's been out a couple times. He was coaching first base earlier. He was a courtesy runner. Fagans lives in Parker. His name is Parker. Family household in Parker. And some of the Foxes on the way today, we talked about Pueblo, the Spradley Collegians having trouble on I-25 coming up today, getting stuck and late and nasty I-25 traffic. Here's Lawing's pitch, breaking ball. Got it. De La Cueva is out on strikes on a good bender from Kieran Lawing. 2 down. Some of the Foxes left a little early, went to Parker with Parker Fagans and hung out there and then finished the drive to Colorado Springs. Down to Castle Rock, I guess is kind of the area there, Parker area. And clearing the Denver Metro is a huge part of getting down I-25 down here to Colorado Springs. So it's kind of a veteran move, really, by that carload of Foxes. Another bus load came along. I was told by Matthew Eubanks a stop at a convenience store gas station that had a McDonald's in it. Dudes picked up some golden arches. 2 outs, 2 on. Pitch from Lawing is a lob to center. Todd coming on, lays out, slides forward, and can't get it. Ball on the ground. Good closing effort by Nori Todd, but that flare shot to center from Ben Clayton scores them both. Clayton capitalizes on runners on base and gets the job done. 2 RBI single from Ben. Jeremiah Lucero will bat. Lucero has the tradition of greeting the catcher with a little tap to the shin guards. Just did that with Vinny Engel, saying hello as he gets in the box. Home team puts up a pair, puts a guy on first, tying run at the plate. Lucero less likely a home run threat to tie it with 1 swing. As I said, had a good night 2 nights ago offensively. Very productive for the Miracles. Yesterday, not as prolific offensively. Didn't stay in long, actually. Had 1 AB and then yielded to a pinch hitter, Maverick Alcaria. Lucero fires away and fouls it straight back. Yesterday, I'm looking back, I talked about that ball that hit the clock out in right center. And I think that was Jackson McFarland. Would have been his second home run of the game, but the umpires didn't see that it hit the clock above the fence and just gave him a double on it. That pick throw sticks right on the back of the dive back of Ben Clayton. That spot was fantastic. Lawing's had a few wild throws to first. That one was a dot. that, as it was caught by Smith, was on the tag on the back of the diving runner, just safe. Lucero fouls it other way, screen above the dugout of the Miracles. Jeremiah on Wednesday night in the win over Diamond Club, he had a single walk and single in his first 3 times up. He scored every time. He reached on an E5 after that. Big offensive night for Jeremiah. Can he keep the 5th inning alive? He'll shoot this to left. That looks like it's on Gavina, who takes a couple steps back and makes the catch. Cade Gavina in left field closes the 5th inning with the catch. 9-7. Miracles get 2 back, scoring a couple in the frame, and it's a 2-run ball game. 9-7 to the 6th inning of a 7-inning ball game. Foxes have a lead, have the bats with 3-4-5, Smith, Bertucci, Einen. All right, back to it. I had to leave my post to go correct the score on the scoreboard, so I'm going to fess up. I was off and handling that, and I bumped in, had a nice interaction in the hallway with the starting pitcher for the Miracles. We're into action here in the top of the 6th, and Hank Smith, lightning style, he's on base. Gets right to it, does Hank Smith, leading it off. He's on third, and it was a Hank Smith leadoff with Nick Bertucci now in the box. Bertucci takes up for a 1-1 count. And triple from Smith, liner to right. That for Hank Smith is a double and a triple. Hank considered a triple last inning when he blasted one to right. This time he does get the 3-bagger. Hank Smith going off. Power numbers. And Bertucci's going to send him home. Line single to left, and that was more like thunder and lightning, triple, and then Bertucci, nice clean single swing, puts double digits on the board for the Foxes, and that is a calling card for this squad. They are just an offensive bunch, putting runs up. And Smith and Bertucci in 2 at-bats put a run on, and now more coming. We'll see if they score on this, but Einen hits one to the corner in right. Ball still rattling around in right. Around comes Bertucci. Second triple of the inning. It's a single sandwich with triples on either side of it. Elijah Einen has back-to-back triples. Hank Smith doubled in the 5th, tripled in the 6th. Elijah Einen triples in the 5th, triples in the 6th. Both of those for Einen RBI shots. And the Foxes are now starting to do what Foxes do as they assert the offense here. Scoreboard is a little gummed up on us. It's wrong out there in the outfield area. I left the headset while I played the seventh inning stretch for you, the fifth inning stretch in this case, the end of the fifth inning stretch, and went and corrected. It was 7 runs up for the Miracles. It was 9-7 there. Now it's 11-7 with Foxes putting 2 more up here. Scoreboard still says, now it says 10-7. I think they're having probably a little bit of they're fighting with the technology. Might have a hiccup in the system over there on the scoreboard. Nice work by the folks at Blocktickets Park. Great support, great hosting here at this park. Foxes now 11. Miracles with 7, and a 2-2 count to Ronan Hella. With Elijah Einen at third base. Elijah 2 for 2, 2 triples, 2 walks in the game. Fouled off by Hella. For Elijah Einen, I talked about it earlier, that last at-bat in the 5th inning with the triple, he went deep in that count, kind of had Zachary Sanders figured out a little bit, was fouling pitches off, and I said he was either going to wear him out to a walk or get something he could do damage with, and he tripled. He does it again here off of David Ada. Hella hangs in with a little bit of an emergency hack there, spoil hack. Out to the back screen comes Devin Alvarado, pitcher for the Miracles. Had a good start, did Alvarado a couple days ago against that Diamond Club squad that ended up being an extra inning win. Alvarado went 4 in that game, if I remember right, and threw it well, put his team in a good spot. Gave up 4 in the first inning to Diamond Club on Wednesday. The first 6 guys reached that day in the top of the first for Diamond Club. 5 of those in a row were hits and then a walk. Here's a single from Hella. Nice work on a 2-2 pitch. He stayed alive in the count and then delivers a single to left. And come on down, Elijah Einen. 3rd run of the inning for the Foxes. 4th hit of the inning. Triple, single, triple, single. That usually results in good outcomes. Nobody out. You look at the scorecard here, and the Foxes, they had the 4-run third. That was a big one, but they 5th and 6th innings have looked like Foxes scorecards, just colored in diamonds up and down the strip for runs scored. Nobody out. 3 runs in the inning. Pitch from Ada. Breaking ball got the zone. Started up at the eye level of Owen May and then bent down. May batting with nobody out, 1 aboard. The Foxes can do this also. They can all of a sudden put up, you talk about crooked numbers, and they do a lot of crooked numbers. They can put up double digits in innings and strike quickly. They had an 11-run frame. Hella takes off. He's going to steal second base. In goes Ronan Hella. The Foxes had an 11-run 3rd inning yesterday against the NoCo Prospectors. The game was 4-0 into the bottom of the 3rd. That's when not just lightning struck, but the typhoon came through for 11 runs from the Foxes. Ground ball, or not a ground ball, but a shot through the right side, rolls out into right as it finishes through the infield and brings around Ronan Hella. Owen May adds the 5th hit in 5 batters to the plate in the 6th inning. He scores Hella. Let me re-describe that. He hit a solid shot that bounced once, maybe twice before it reached the outfield grass and then rolled on its way out to right on a solid single shot to the right side from Owen May. Breaking ball strike to Drew Oreskes. Triple, single, triple, single. Single is the pattern now for the Foxes, who activate the bullpen for the Miracles, sending Jacob Watley to work down in the bullpen, throwing to Mason Aaron, the bullpen catcher. 1-1 count to Drew Oreskes. Bullpen for the Foxes. Breaking ball strike and a 1-2 count. Got guys down there again. Yeah, do have a right-handed pitcher warming up for Fort Collins in the left side bullpen. Pitch misses 2-2. It's Ross Frank tossing it down there a little bit for the Foxes. Started earlier this week for Fort Collins. Try a breaking pitch again. That's wide of the zone. Ross was not at the game yesterday. He was on an off day, and he told me actually he went and camped for a couple days. I think he said Glendo up in Wyoming is where he was. Walk pitch to Oreskes. Pushes Ronan Hella to second base. 6 Foxes have come to the plate in this inning, and all 6 have reached. The other 5 by base hit, this one by walk. Vinny Angle, the catcher, coming in. This happened to the Miracles in the first inning against Diamond Club. They gave up 5 consecutive hits to open the game here on Wednesday, and then a walk, and that actually seemed to cool off the offense a little bit. And Diamond Club finished out. They scored 4 runs in the inning after having 5 consecutive hits and a walk. That's what the Foxes have here in the 6th. Pitch up in the zone to Vinny Angle, who's got a 1-1 count. (13-7) is the score. Grounder deflected at pitch. That'll be an out. Jeremiah Lucero takes the redirected ball off the glove of David Ada. Ada trying to snag it and start a double play, but it ticked off the edge of his glove. That's a 1-4-3 ground out for Angle. And runners at second and third now as they move up with 1 down. Back to the top of the order. Nori Todd. And Parker Fagan's first base coaching over there for the Foxes. He just handed off about 26 pounds of hitter's protective equipment. That's what will happen when you get your first 6 guys on base handing off elbow guards and ankle guards and shin guards and nostril guards and whatever else they're wearing to the first base coach. Parker Fagan's load has been lightened by Angle out at first base. That chopper goes foul down the first base line. Vinny hauled back a sporting goods store aisle worth of gear. Scoreboard on that pitch said the count was 0-3 to Nori Todd. I don't think that was right. He takes a couple balls here. Now the scoreboard says 2-3 count. Now they clear it. Count was 2-3. That's weird. That seems unlikely for Todd to still be standing there if his count was 2-3. And it's corrected to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nori Todd, 1 out. A couple more runners available. Todd swings into that foul, sends it out of the park on the right side. When Nori goes for the deep ball swing, he throws the front hip out, really brings the bat through big time on the zone. He's going to try to beat a ground ball to second. He'll pull up on that one and score a run as Todd hit a two-hopper to second base. Jeremiah Lucero makes the throw and the out on it. Owen May to the plate, another one in for the Foxes. And I think, we're up to, that's 14. I was a little tardy on triggering a couple of those. 14 runs up. It's a football score here. 14-7 with 2 out. Runner on third is Drew Oreskes. Second 5-run frame of the game for the Foxes. Ada trying to get through this top of the 6th, 7-inning game. You got Jacob Watley throwing for the Miracles. He might have the assignment for the final scheduled frame of hitting for the Foxes. Trying to get Ada through the 6th inning here. Miracles will have their 9-1 and 2 batters coming up. Ball grounded and deflected. Diving try at third. Cade Gavina has a single and an RBI. Gavina knocks in his second run of the day on a solid swing to the left side. Diving play at third. Reach by Jansen Roberts. It hit the very end of his glove on the layout dive and deflected back towards short. It's a clean single for Gavina. A good effort at third. Oreskes scoring 15-7 with 2 down. This the most productive frame of the day now for the Foxes with 6 runs plated. Got one more ball game coming after this. 2 7-inning matchups dialed up. Ada bending pitch got the zone. 1-2 count. Second time to the plate in this inning for Hank Smith. He opened this inning with a triple. Hank swinging it well. He's got 2 walks, a double, triple. Go along with Elijah Einen, 2 walks, a triple, and a triple. Those 2 guys are 4 for 4 with 4 walks. All 4 hits, extra base hits. Total bases on those, 11 total bases on 4 hits for Einen in the number 5 spot and Smith in the number 3 spot. 2-2 pitch, wide, full count. Now with a 3-2 2-out situation, John Byington for the Miracles says, let's play behind the runner. He's going to take off on this pitch with 3-2 2-out. Smith turns on one, fouls it into the maintenance yard in the right field corner, foul side of the pole over there. Down near the RV sale going on in the parking lot. Another 3-2 coming from Ada. Smith chops that high, 1 hop to Ada, makes the play on it. And the Foxes, they separate here in the 6th inning from the Miracles with a 6-run frame. The scoring frames in this game for the Foxes now, they have a 4 spot, they have a 5 spot, and they have a 6 spot in this inning. 4 in the 3rd, 5 in the 5th, 6 in the 6th, and it is 15 for the Foxes, 15-7 the lead. As the Miracles bat now down by 8 with Bryson Martinez, the number 9 spot coming up, then Morgan and Schlepper.
Cliche Country, Sugar Lake's unicorn of radio. Wide open and in the saddle. Tough, gritty. We are servant leaders with exceptional bandwidth who give 110%. So open a can of worms and beat a dead horse. Get outside the box. 108.1 FM. Put a pin in it for a win-win situation. Sugar Lake's Cliche Country, 108.1 FM. It is what it is. You got this. Have a nice rest of your day.
We're gonna go, we'll take our time. We'll hit the road, see what we find. Anticipate and wait. I wanna leave, I wanna go. What could be out there? What will I see? Will I find a secret to me? Then it begins, it's time to go. The journey's now, let's hit the road. The road unwinds and then I find Longbridge Road means we're almost home. Longbridge Road means we're almost home. Longbridge Road means we're almost home. No matter where I go or where I roam, Longbridge Road.
It is Ross Frank jumping on the hill. Told him he looked fresh. He had just gone camping, a little bit of fishing. I think he said they tented. A few of the other members of their camping party were in RVs, but Ross, all freshened up from the camping outing, he's going to hop on the hill here at Blocktickets Park and get a relief appearance. Works quickly, does Ross. Love that approach. There he's in the zone with Bryson Martinez acknowledging the spinner. After the swing and miss, he uses the right hand off the bat and gives that little spin gesture with his hand, telling himself and his dugout, hey, we got the spin ball. 1-2 count to Bryson Martinez. Getting ready to get underway in Gearing, Nebraska with the Diamond Club Collegians at the Western Nebraska Pioneers. Ground ball, couple hopper to Owen May. Takes that high hop on the last hop off the grass. Deep on the dirt, sails to May, and he makes the play, 1 out. Top of the order, Hunter Morgan with Jackson Schlepper on deck. Around the Front Range League, Boulder 64s took care of. There's a ball to Owen May at second base, makes a leaping play on it. Nicely done at second. Owen May listed at 6 feet 1 inch. The vert, I can't even calculate right there. May makes the play. 2 outs quickly for Ross Frank on the bump for the Foxes. Oh, man. Owen May. He's going to have stories to tell about that ball and the elite hops. Frank back to the plate, gets a hack from Schlepper, fouled away. So both balls hit to second base. 1 ground ball to May, 1 line out to May. Schlepper down, he's in a 1-1 count. Now it's 2-1. Man, I love it. I've known Ross since he was a little bugger, 11 or 12 years old. Just graduated Rocky Mountain High School, Ross Frank. And this pace, all about it. Monterey Peninsula College in California is where Ross is headed for his collegiate beginnings in August. Strike delivered, 3-2 count. Back on and ready is Frank. 3-2 pitch, 2 away, chopped foul. Schlepper still alive. 64s beat the Greeley Grays 20-9 in a run rule. That was a scheduled 9-inning game. They don't get that far. Frank's pitch. He missed. Ross issues a free pass with 2 out to Jackson Schlepper. Foxes and Miracles playing their first of 2 right here before us as we witness Prospectors in Fort Collins hosting the Pueblo Spradley Collegians. Diamond Club at Western Nebraska. That game starting right about now, here in the next few minutes on the Front Range Baseball Network. Standings will update as I pump in scores. I just added the 64s and Grays game to the standings grid, schedule results grid, hosted by Fort Collins Baseball Club. Click on standings on the Front Range League website, frontrange.league.com, for schedule, standing stats, and more. Summer 2025, the inaugural season of Front Range League Collegiate Baseball. Summer woodbat baseball played along the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains in Colorado and Nebraska. FrontRangeLeague.com. Ross Frank fires over to first base on a 2-1 count. Back safely is Schlepper. Austin Reese having a day. He's 3 for 3. He's got this 2-1 count. Here's Frank's pitch to Reese. That's fouled. 2-2 now with 2 out. Ross, as a 12-year-old in Johnstown, Colorado, small town around the Loveland, Greeley area, was playing on some 14 and 15-year-old teams on 60-90 dimensions, the full-size dimensions, as a young dude. Here's a ball back through the middle, base hit. Austin Reese has 4 hits on the day. Nori Todd going to take a crack at third base on the runner going around. He'll be safe. Jackson Schlepper goes first to third on the 4th hit of the day for Austin Reese. Reese raking. And again, he's scored every time he's been on. He's been on every time, so he's scored every time he's been up. Austin Reese, a first-inning triple, 2 RBI on that. He scored then after that. 3rd-inning single, scored. 5th-inning single, scored. And now a 6th-inning single. Keeps the inning alive with 2 down. 1st and 3rd. Reese, a short lead. Team down by 8. Would imagine the Foxes would throw through here on a steal from Vinny Angle behind the plate. You'd expect them to try to take the out at 2. Looks like shortstop Ronan Hella would have the cover at second as the shortstop here. He's shaded toward the bag with the lefty up. Jansen Roberts takes a strike. Jansen is 0 for 3 with an RBI today. His ground out in the 1st inning scored Reese. Ground out to pitcher in the 3rd and a pop out to third base in the 5th. That was last inning. He's back up again. Jansen Roberts could pop here at any time, facing a tough arm in Ross Frank. Runner does go. Angle on the down pitch. Didn't have a great throwing angle to that, so he'll eat it. Into second on, what is defensive indifference? I always like to give a stolen base to anything. You put yourself out there on peril like that, I'm going to give you a stolen base. 2nd and 3rd, the runners now for the Miracles. Pitch to Roberts. It's a 2-1 count. Chops that to the middle. Ronan Hella runs to it, flips it, and makes the play. Nothing for the Miracles in the bottom of 6. The final frame is upon us now. 7th inning of a 7-inning ball game. I think we're going to see Jacob Watley coming to the mound is what I believe is going on here. And the Miracles have one more round to go. 7th frame with the Foxes in command at 15-7 in Colorado Springs.
Sports fans, broadcast announcing is evolving. Play-by-play is now play-by-play. Who needs bothersome people who have their own opinions, rooting interests, and skin in the game? Play-by-play.com. the next frontier in sports announcing.
Ball yard baseball. Ball yard baseball.
Top of 7, Jacob Watley on the mound, and Nick Bertucci into the trees, into the weeds, into the night air. It is gone. Bertucci, first pitch he sees from Jacob Watley, tees off, and at 16-7, Bertucci goes yard. That reminds me of the home run derby that will be held, Front Range League inaugural season, the first ever All-Star Spectaculars. Bertucci touches home on his solo bomb. Bertucci's second hit of the day, couple RBI, 3 runs scored. He singled last inning to knock in a run. Hit by pitch in the third inning, scored a run. Bertucci goes big-time yard. That one over the flagpoles out in left field. You can see the flagpoles to the left field side of the scoreboard. He hit it high above those and deep back into the scrub back there. Watley upstairs for a 2-0 count. Do want to back up. I was going to start with this, but Bertucci went on the yard swing so quickly that didn't have time to get to it. But Watley here on a 2-0 pitch is lifted to shallow center. That'll hang up, and now Morgan reaccelerates and snow cones one down. Hunter Morgan had to restart the sprint to put away the pop-up from Elijah Einen. 1 out. Did want to kind of reiterate the observation here of holy NOCO prospectors in Fort Collins. They were down 7-1, got that grand slam from catcher Gladish, and then scored 4 more in the 8th frame. And NOCO prospectors had a 9-7 lead playing in the top of 9, but now the Pueblo Spradley Collegians have tied the game in the top of the 9th, 9-9 the count, with 2 outs and nobody aboard. The first 2 guys were out for Spradley. Walk, single, 2 runs in on a variety of things, and tied at 9 in the 9th. 2 outs and 1 aboard. Spradley still batting. Prospectors will have a chance to close them out in the bottom of the 9th, but NOCO was down big. Like I said, they were actually down 7-0 in that game, and then they've, in the final stanzas of the action, good one going in Fort Collins at 9-9. That's on the Front Range Baseball Network with Sam Eliason calling the action for us. Watley's pitch is wide. And the count shows 3-1. 3-ball, 1-strike tally. Bullpen empty for the Miracles, so this is Watley's, and he drills Ronan Hella. Well, if you're going to throw a ball 4, might as well get your money's worth. Rib a guy. Oof. roof. 1 out, and Owen May batting. Strike from Watley. May takes for an 0-1 count. Couple games in action tomorrow in the Front Range League in Boulder. It'll be Diamond Club and the Boulder 64s. I'll be there for that one tomorrow, and back here in the Springs on Sunday. May to third base. Nice pick at third by Jansen Roberts, and no catch on the feed to Lucero. He botched the catch. The throw was on the outfield side of the second base bag from third base. It was to the left field side of second base, but very catchable. It's an error on the receive over there. Fielder's choice from May, and an error on the front side attempt at second on the runner Hella. Drew Oreskes batting. One 0 count to Drew. He nubs one to third. Robert steps on third, throws across, high throw, and another error. The out's there on the front side. Nobody's going to score that throw, fortunately for the Miracles. Too tall, way over the head of first baseman Ben Clayton. It bounced back, hit whatever it hit on the side over there. It bounced straight back toward first, and Clayton picked it back up, but it went all the way past the dirt and over to the side wall, kicked its way back out. Second out is recorded. Hella stomped out at third on the unassisted pickup by Jansen Roberts, and now this ball through the right side will score a run, so Vinny Angle gets a chance to hit and does that well, knocking in Owen May. Foxes once again, big old run production as they have hit the 17-run mark with 2 outs, 17-7 the score. Single and an RBI for Vinny Angle. Top of the order is Nori Todd. That ball to third base for Jansen Roberts. He made a nice pick on the ball. Nice play, glove play. Stepped on third. That's the front end. You cannot assume the double play. So his throw across, not an error there if it didn't allow somebody to move up, but it did, and so it's that runner moving second to third that became an error. Ball back through the middle from Nori Todd will be picked up at shortstop by Jackson Schlepper, and the stomp out at second base will close the top of the seventh with the Foxes putting up a couple more runs and taking a 17-7 cushion to the final bat for the El Paso County Baseball Miracles. 17-7 our score into the bottom of the last, and it's David Ada to lead off for the Miracles.
The Palace of Pong, the place for paddles. Ping Pong Palace, where ping pong players play ping pong and people populate pre- and post-perfect performances at the ball yard. Ping Pong Palace, positioned perfectly for our population, perpendicular to the pit, plus pleasant proximity to our pristine pond. Please, pop in for Pong. Purchase pop, popcorn, pizza, pastries. Take it from me. Ping Pong Winchester. The place for Pong is Ping Pong Palace. Ping Pong Palace, positioned perfectly for our population, perpendicular to the pit, plus pleasant proximity to our pristine pond. Please, pop in for Pong.
inning of work for Ross Frank in the 6th. Now in the 7th, final bat for the Miracles is the side-slinging righty TJ McCraw. Takes the mound for the Foxes for a final inning of work for McCraw. Pitching procession for the Foxes in this game, swinging a strike, big hack and nothing there. Miracles batter here is a pinch hit. It's Nicholas Brainerd taking the AB in the place of David Ada. First time up for Brainerd in my recollection. 0-2 count, wide with the pitch. Prospectors and Spradley Collegians in Fort Collins. If you want to check the fantastic finish there, that game is in the bottom of the 9th, tied. 1 out. Prospectors have a runner on first. McCraw's pitch, wide, 2-2. Good game today, that 9-inning ball game. They were going to play 2. It ended up being a single 9, and they're getting a good one out of it. Bottom of 9 for the home team. Prospectors batting with 1 out, 1 aboard. Might be looking at extras. That pitch is ripped wide of everybody and to the backstop. Goes to a 3-2 count. Dominic Selfo. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled. Tough spot. Good spoil of that pitch. Well, the water down the third base side is now, looks like that's dried up or evaporated, soaked in. So there were some little puddles remaining over there on our left side of our shot of Blocktickets Park. Still a little muddy area down that side for game 2 coming up here tonight. That'll be a hit by pitch off of the elbow protection of Brainerd. He's on base with an HBP. It was a full count pitch that hit him. Louis De La Cueva's spot is due up, but it'll be Mason Aaron who will bat here. As Fox's manager Larry McCann walks out, and Foxes are going to make a little change here. I think it was Ronan Hella who just came off. I think he's probably going to get ready for his start next game, just kind of get him out of the mix. Elijah Einen is at third base. Cade Gavina just came into second, so they're swapping out gloves, getting a different glove type, came from the outfield. I think it's Parker Fagans who went to left field. Yeah, it looks like Fagans out in left. And Owen May has shifted over to shortstop. He was at second. So May at short, Gavina at 2, coming in from left field. Einen stays at 3. Fagans in left. Ronan Hella off the diamond. This ball hit to left. Welcome in there, Parker Fagans. He'll have to watch that drop down in front of him. And runners at first and second. Hit by pitch, and then a base hit for Mason Aaron. TJ McCraw out of Wichita Falls, Texas. Played at Panola JC in Texas, heading to Colorado Christian in the Denver metro area this fall. Strike is rung up. That must have been an offer there. That was an up pitch, but unable to hold back on it was Logan Wilson. Prospectors have closed it out in Fort Collins on the Front Range Baseball Network, winning in walk-off style in the bottom of 9, 10-9 over Spradley. So after getting blasted last night by the Foxes 24-2, good bounce back by the Prospectors against a good team, Spradley out of Pueblo in the top half of the standings in the Front Range League, and the Prospectors get a win in 9 innings, 10-9. Comeback style, they were down 7-0 in that one. McCraw's pitch, swing, and 2-2 count. That final frame, it was a strikeout to start the inning for the Spradley defense. Spradley pitching of Turner. They got a strikeout, then walk, and a double from Jay Satterfield. Scored the winning run, walk-off for the Prospectors. Here's a walk-off strikeout. Down goes Logan Wilson. He was batting where Ben Clayton had been. That was the number 7 spot. 1 away and 2 aboard. TJ McCraw had a hit by pitch and then a smooth single from Mason Aaron. Aaron batted for Louis De La Cueva's spot, the catcher. Mason Aaron also does some catching. De La Cueva, the go-to catcher, and I believe he's going to catch game 2, so getting him an early start on a little break before the second game of our double dip tonight. Strike to Jeremiah Lucero. Lucero 0 for 3 today. Put the ball in play every time. Fly out to right in the second, ground ball to second in the fourth. Fly out to left in the fifth. McCraw's pitch fouled away. Lucero hangs in there on a 1-2. That's out of play. Runner takes off from third, and Lucero is drilled by that pitch. Hit by pitch. Load him up for the Miracles. Lucero gets on the painful way. And here comes Bryson Martinez, number 9 spot in the order. It's a 10-run hill that the Miracles need to climb, but they'd be happy to get back to the top of the order. Going to get a ground ball up the middle. Step on 2. Gavina turns, flips it, and double play will close game 1 of a doubleheader. Twin killing. Gavina gets the bag himself at second base, fires to first, and that wraps game 1. And the Foxes win by 10. 17-7. Is the final count for the Foxes in the win. Took a little work to get there for the Fort Collins Foxes. Miracles got 3 in the first inning, 1 more in the second. It was 4-0 Miracles. Foxes go for 4 in the third to even it up. A little back and forth for an inning or two, and then Foxes blow it up in the 5th inning, a 5 spot, 6 runs in the 6th, and they roll to a 17-7 win. Game 2 up next from Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs. And again, the appreciation to the crew here at Blocktickets Park. Field crew immediately on the diamond to touch it up for game 2 of this doubleheader, Foxes and Miracles on the Front Range Baseball Network. We'll be back, I don't know, nobody told me exactly what we'll do here, but I imagine 20, 25-ish minutes. It is 6:53 Mountain Time, 6:52. Clocks match. The clock out in right field says 6:52. So does mine. 6:52 p.m. Mountain Time is our finish, and probably about 20 minutes or so we'll drop off of this stream portal on the Front Range Baseball Network and open up game 2 here in roughly 20 for the Foxes and Miracles. 17-7. Back with you shortly from Blocktickets Park. I'm Thad Anderson in Colorado Springs. Game 2 coming next.